Hello friends, welcome to the Burst Limit Weekly here on Boston Bluebeat, doing some plus R brackets for you. My name is ChemicalJade, I'm here with the veritable T5. How you doing, friend?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's been a great day so far, and I'm excited to sit down and look at some awesome plus R. These weeklies are always popping. The last one I commented was fantastic, and I'm excited to see what this one brings to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a nice full bracket here, a nice even 16 to work with, always makes it easier, so we got some good matches on deck for y'all today, and of course, got folks trying to qualify for the Burst Limit finale here in Season 3, so what are you looking forward to out of this bracket, T5?
Oh, I see Jason, Ryan, and Blitz. I always like when they end up playing, but I also have a really favorite underdog player in ChemicalJade. She's really good, really great, and basically every time she comes on stream and comes out the bracket, she plays better than she did the last time, nice. And it's just really cool to watch it grow
Very cool. Yeah, always fun seeing the improvement that you get out of people grinding plus R, which somehow never stops. I always wait for everyone to be like, all right, well, it was fun, but it just keeps going. Thanks in part to, stuff like this going on every week now.
Yeah, the good netcode replay takeover is like godsend for I want to try something.
It has ruined every fighting game in existence for me, because no matter what I'm grinding, I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, I don't know how I got beat so bad, but I'll just go over and take over replay.
Oh, dude, I was playing Street Fighter 6, and I'm like, oh, they got rewind, they got all this. I'm like, okay, replay take. Oh.
Yeah, right. Truly the most spoiling of options available. But so yeah, we'll have quite a few classic matchups. I was looking at the bracket, and I'm like, yep, nope, that is a classic XX matchup. That is also a classic XX matchup. Looks like a lot of haymakers in this bracket. Like, there's gonna be some big swings in these matches.
Oh yes. Specifically the way Yurrie plays, to talk about this match. He is a very much, I'm gonna get in your face and show you what happens when Slayer grabs a pair of dice and starts rolling like your D&D GM when he wants you to die.
Right.
You're going to see a lot of undertow. You're going to see a lot of big callouts of pile bunker, lots of FDC bite. That's one of their favorite things. Not BDC, FDC. They love going forward and trying to catch you down backing with the command grab.
Yeah, Slayer's an interesting character with that, because you really do get every type, right? Like, there's the really cold, calculated Slayers that use the really high-end pokes and very careful checks with BDC. And then you get the ones that are like, I'm sorry, I have pile bunker and the heavy slash button. What did you think I was going to do?
Right, 5H is coming out. It will hit you.
Right.
It's so good.
All right, going into it. Yurrie versus ChartSol. All right, go feel each other out in neutral to start the day here.
Yeah, loving the Gunflame. That's a really good tool that Sol has to stop Slayer from moving really recklessly. Slayer basically has to IID over it or try to, wiggle around it. Because none of the BDC or FDC invincibility outlasts the active strength on that.
Yeah, kind of always been a constant in the XX series is Gunflame is a real annoyance for Slayer. Until Slayer hits you, then the annoyance is over and your health bar goes away. Much like that.
It's disengaging. This is actually really smart. Sol notoriously has really poor ways of making it really threatening at this range.
Yes.
Oh, but
Sidewinder. Started off jabs, you're not going to get crazy soul damage, but a little too high for the hitbox. Again, too high for the hitbox. Slayer with that very awkward horizontal air hitbox can make some air combos a little rough, but he does have a big old fat hitbox for clean hit Sidewinder. Just do it. Just do it.
Nice.
First? Nope. Okay. All right.
There we go.
Go up and get him again.
Yeah, Sol, also on the note of air hurt boxes, Sol's is really peculiar too, because it feels like his legs just vanish.
Yes.
Like they were never there.
I see we have an exchange of ideas in the House of Plus R today. You don't get those exchanges in other fighting games. That is exclusive to Legacy Guilty here, as far as I'm concerned. But that exchange came out well invested for ChartSol. Already on the virtue.
Oh my god!
Direct hit Dandy, that's gonna sting. Fight, yep. Do it again?
Do it again?
EDC outright stomp, alright. Guts is gonna kick in, I was gonna say not quite enough there with no meter, but. Alright, FRC Gunflame, I like that, just controlling the horizontal space. Patience, baits out, big bang up. Oh, Blurs comes back just in time. Yurrie wants to
really
take this
like-
first game. There you go. 5-10.
Yeah, Yurrie not committing to the follow-up to under pressure there. Normally, it's not super unsafe if you notice they didn't instant block it, but Soul with that 5-frame or the 3-frame 5K.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Forward kick right up in the dome. Sweet. Let her rip. I will not suffer your OP here, sir. I have a DP.
Oh my god, catches?
Little too far. That could have honestly deleted the rest of the health bar.
Oh, there it is! Undertone!
Yep.
But no legs! Oh my
If that was an actual call out on the crossover with Grand Viper, I am super impressed. And even if it wasn't, good choice.
Yeah, you know, hey.
Alright. ChartSol kind of holding the corner here. Alright,
Oh,
there
that
it
was
is.
nice.
Oh, no clean hit Sidewinder, though. That could have done a lot. First stage was kind of cranked up there. The TK direct hit dandy.
I'm
Fish.
shocked it hit.
Oh! Punch to the burst. Really good burst rate. An undertow,
Oh,
yup.
yeah.
That's like you said, gonna make a lot of hard reads and callouts and just let it rip.
Yeah, Yurrie definitely signposted. He's gotten really good at not doing it too much. He used to go really, really hard on that, but he's gotten better at dialing back where he wants to do it. You'll notice sometimes he'll just switch sides with S-Dandy, or just like take position on a knockdown instead of worrying about RPSing. But at the core, at the heart of his play, he really likes to catch you.
Yeah. There's something to be said for, you know, there's wildness, right? And wildness can catch a lot of people off guard. Some people just can't adjust to the idea that you are going to play like an absolute mad person for the entire set. But where it truly gets scary, especially with characters with kits like Slayer, is when you have that controlled wildness, where you transition from like, no, I'll play honest footsies and neutral with you. Oh, just kidding.
Right, yeah. I'm just hanging out.
Really difficult to adjust to.
Hanging out, building meter, and then like suddenly I'm letting dead on time rip like nobody's business. That's the hitbox everyone forgets until they get hit by it.
When you're as old as I am and you saw a bajillion like reload and XX combo videos of the tail end of direct hit dandy killing people, every time it happens in a live match, you're just like, oh no!
Just you wince, right? You're like, oh
yeah. Like, it might be your least favorite character getting hit by it, and it's still just like the brutality of direct hit dandy. It's like, oh god.
Dude, it's shocking. Even as a Cliff player, when I watch like those Tanabata clips where he combos into it off of like a high guard bar and it's just gone, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Oh. Alright, nice pressure from ChartSol. Nice. Calls out the attempt. Alright. Probably a slight misinput there. I don't think Yurrie was looking to go to the skies, but let's get a throw. Nice use of 2S to call out the cross-up dandy.
Yeah, 2S is one of Soul's like best I don't want to overcommit pokes. It's honestly a really great button. Plus on block, really fast, disjointed. It's super good.
Yeah. No, extremely strong button. Really good for those situations where it's like you want to throw out 2D because, I mean, Soul 2D is real good for a multitude of reasons, but it is committal. You don't particularly want to whip it. 2S, it's like nobody's whip punishing your 2S.
Right. And like the only real weakness it poses versus Slayer beyond like... Actually, no, it is really just the low active frames. Because, you know, Slayer's going to FDC and BDC, so you have to be really diligent in how you use it, but it's really strong.
Yeah, unless you've got something that's like a Kai suite that's active for 5 billion years, you gotta really pick and choose your counter pokes to get Slayer. Cross up dandy. Burst gonna come somewhere. Yeah.
Oh no!
Wasn't really a good place to burst in that combo, so not a lot ChartSol can do there. Borderline checkmate situation unless Yurrie overcommitted and no real reason to, so Yurrie gonna take that 2-0.
Yeah, you'd have to burst like right when BBU hits and not any time any later. Because like if you're late on that, you like do it after the hit stop, you're like in space. Yeah. And that might work in Strive, it ain't gonna work here.
Yeah, right? No full screen burst in Plus R. At least not yet. Please don't. I'm good.
Oh, you imagine? We're gonna find like ways to like arbitrary code execution. You know, I would say that there are some characters in this game that I would vote as most likely to have a BLJ. I think like Cliff, Justice, and Abba are three that I think would definitely maybe have one somewhere.
I can see the code just rewrites itself on the fly and everything goes sideways. I definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff there to start off our burst limit weekly. So Yurrie gonna move on for now. ChartSol drop down to the loser side.
Looking like we're gonna get Draco Dragon versus Cinder. Oh, Slayer Bridget. Here we go. This is a really funny matchup.
Yeah, this is. Can you get two more polar opposites in plus R?
Yeah.
This is one of those where Bridget has no interest in engaging this fight. Like, Bridget is going to look to get any semblance of a life lead and then really, really, really pick her spots.
Yeah.
Because Bridget, like, you know, Bridget's damage is definitely subpar in plus R in a lot of situations, but Bridget, once she gets some meter on deck, can do some grimy mix-ups. But even the grimiest mix-up against Slayer is a big risk, so you gotta have a lot of resources on deck to keep yourself safe if you're gonna go in against this character, because the damage discrepancy in this matchup is very not in Bridget's favor.
Yeah, like Slayer, I think is almost notorious for how much his damage is almost directly correlated to his meter.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and Bridget is similar, but her highs on her damage, even with meter, are like, at best you get really powerful situational damage, but it's nowhere, it does not sniff the amount that Slayer is gonna get for 50 or even 25. Like,
yeah, no, like Bridget gets like her best counter hit starter. It's like, if she's had you blocking for a while, yeah, she can do 40-50%. That can certainly happen. Slayer just does that because you pushed a button in neutral.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, oh, I got meter to do a force break or an FRC on 6P. Well,
yeah. So yeah, definitely one of those where Slayer kind of has license to just be a bit of a jackass in this matchup because he's going to have so many opportunities to cash out, whereas Bridget's kind of got to play a little bit more calculated and careful.
What a trade.
Yeah. Nice poke at 2D. That's going to be the goal, is just, if at all possible, you want to put Roger somewhere in the vicinity between you and Slayer. In most matchups, Bridget wants to get Roger behind you and create some kind of sandwich situation. It's Slayer that's honestly not that ideal because he has so many ways to just rush right through it. In this case, just no chance to get the offense set up.
And Slayer, not really worried about Starship in a lot of cases because almost all of his mix-up outside of like stuff like 6K and command grab is done on like the 5K range and like the dandy position. So Starship being a DP that stays in place, it's not really gonna kick you out. Oh,
nice chase down here, grab it. All right, get knocked down. Wow, immediately force break dandy. Just like, nah, I don't want to deal with your yo-yo. I'm tired.
Nice delay wake up.
Yep, good use. I like the use of force break dandy, just being like, I could block or I could just.
It's crazy. He's got like the 25 meter BDC, and then he's got the actual BDC.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the reason you would even consider Force Break Dandy, not just for the invincibility frames being a bit more ironclad in some situations, especially with Pow Bunker, is that for BDC, you've got like the traditional Guilty Gear backdash one frame window, more or less, right? You've got to hit wake up backdash completely correctly. But reversals, they store the input for one extra frame, so it's a 2-frame window. Which helps a lot, even for the meter cost.
Doubling your input window, especially in a legacy game like this, is that's important. That counts. You might think it's like, well, it's the difference between 1 frame and 2 frames. That's essentially eternity in old games like this with no buffer. Like, that makes a huge difference. Your success rate on a 2-frame reversal input will be exponentially higher than a 1-frame, no buffer input.
I'm loving the 2P. Bridget 2P is super crack normal. That is going to do a lot in this network.
Yeah, it's really easy to point out stuff that Bridget doesn't do amazing in plus R, but one thing she's always had is she has great buttons. She has very, very good buttons, especially to check you at those kind of ranges between 2P, 2D. Her 6P is like, really committal, but it hits angles that a lot of 6Ps can't, which is really nice. The
control in that round was perfect, and a lot of it was just, I'm going to press 2P because I know you're going to try and run a mix at that 5K range, and it's not going to work because I've got this button that's just massive and fast. And plus, it's so good.
Yeah, like, FairestCinderella, like, kind of did what I expected in that first game. Like, try and be patient, pick the spots, not overcommit. That's first game there. It was just like, you know what, that didn't work. I'm just going to go in and start the mix. I'm going to apply the pressure and force Draco to prove they can BDC and get out of this stuff.
Oh, but...
No, not quite, no. Yeah, 5H, yep.
I can't believe that hit. I guess they released FD but wow, it hit really high up.
Yeah, might have been going for an FE jump and then just tapped and ended up like, wow, the immediate sweep, just going in while getting comboed. First, all right, Razor Roger gets some pressure here. Right, there you go. Yeah, 2P is doing the work. The overhead, not into that. No knockdown. A little late on the link for JD.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Cinderella's basically got like
Nice grab.
pretty much a last hit situation at the minute Draco gets 25.
Yeah, Bridget doesn't have the luxury of high guts to bail her out of that situation, so when she gets hit, it's usually not a good thing. Check it.
Oh, the 3D went over it! Oh!
Oh, wow, yep. Yep, got over 3D. They said, like, really good control there multiple times from Cinderella. It's just when you're taking a quarter of your health on even the most basic stray hit, and you have to maintain complete control for a matchup, that makes a matchup very difficult.
Right. It's one of those things that shakes out really different as players get more and more experience, but at situations like this, it can look like, what does Bridget do? But it's just, you just gotta put more time in and get more diligent at it. Cinderella did a really good job adapting in the second game, because she had a really hard time in the first match, but the second one, she put up much more of a fight, and that entire first round was really clean, didn't lose much health at all, but Draco figured out the pace pretty well.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like, you kind of, I like the committal to 2P and just going, okay, I'm gonna hold strong here and try and just shut down everything you're doing. But as soon as Bridget gets cornered, it's like, what do? You have delayed wake up and Starship, and other than that, you're sitting there kind of stuck holding Slayer mix, and it's like, do you just let a DP rip and hope it gets you out to get you some breathing room, or do you try and weather the storm? And like, neither of those options is particularly appealing as a Bridget locked down in the corner.
Hey, you know, I mentioned ChemicalJade, my up-and-coming star player, I'd say, in my eyes. She's super great. We're going to see an Eno mirror.
Oh, wow. All right.
If my read on the bracket is correct. This is Eno is such a fun character in this game. I liken her to... So I like to rate characters in this game in terms of, like, you know, goals and all that stuff on, like, a gradient, right? And I think this game generally designs around a gradient of, if the character is simple to use, certain aspects of their game plan and their goals in neutral can be more complicated. Whereas if a character is really, really hard to pilot in this game, sometimes they have like really streamlined Okizeme and offense and actual goals. And that's Eno to me. She's very hard to play, but like what you're doing with her is very clear cut. Yeah, no,
Eno is not like subtle about what her goal is in a matchup. Her goal is to knock you down and run game. Like that, sometimes she has to play a little bit of a zoning technique to earn that first knockdown and hold you out. But the whole idea is she wants that first knockdown and then she wants to start the mix. In this case, Gold Burst out of the mix. Yep, delayed D. That's a good sting. Looking for something then. All right, nice use of jump H.
They are both pressing JH. Oh my lord.
I liken it to, I call them Sasquatch normals. Any normal where you can just backdash, hit your button, and know that you are safe for doing it, kind of like Sasquatch does in DS. It's like, no, I'm just gonna backdash and hit the big foot. That's Eno jump H. There is rarely a time where you can not drift away from your opponent, hit jump H, and they're not gonna do much about it.
Yeah, the only times you gotta be really careful is when you're high up, because that move is really unique in this game because it's got over 60 frames of recovery and all of them are counter hits. So you gotta be really careful.
Yeah.
The higher up you are, it's like the definition of a haymaker in the air.
Yeah. Really good use there, ChemicalJade, to call out the only real reversal Eno has and just stroke right under it. One of the mirrors and plus R are one of those things where it's like, you would be amazed how many characters in this game are terrible at fighting their own kid.
Yeah.
Like, it happens way more often than you think.
Right, like, oh, her reversals are somewhat susceptible to low profile. They can all be thrown. What does Eno do on mix? A bunch of safe jumps that lead to throw setups. And tons of low pro.
Right.
Like, oh, well. Like Cliff, what's his thing? Oh, he does big damage and big stun, but he gets stunned really fast. What do you think the Cliff mirror turns into? They press 5H, and the guy that gets counter hit probably lost the round.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah, I like what ChemicalJade is doing here. Just like looking to gold burst or just build the meter quickly and then just go. Like nope, I'm gonna get on top of you and I'm gonna run game and hope you can't weather the pressure.
Yeah. Oh.
Plus our mirrors.
Oh, I like that. Oh, bait the 60.
Immediately back in. If you're gonna burst a heavy mobility character like Gdom, you have to have a game plan if it's not a burst that can knock them down. Like, you have to expect they're going to charge right back in. I might have went for a safe jump, didn't get it.
Yeah, because that is technically not a reversal, because you have to get into the air to do that, so whatever that was, it might not have been meaty.
Yep.
How many things hit there?
Not many. Not enough, apparently.
Oh!
Double stroke. Go burst again. ChemicalJade really looking for those gold bursts. Wants the meter to work with. Yep, calls out.
ChemicalJade is a Fortissimo enthusiast. Nice, get off. There we go.
Does have meter for a dead angle. Doesn't use it, though. Oh, not able to get the full confirm. Does it again. Well, you're not... Enthusiast might be an understatement. Good lord. There was like 6 in that set.
Its biggest fan, maybe?
Yeah, it might be. President of the fan club? Yeah, very good showing by ChemicalJade. Just kind of just said, I'm gonna bulldog harder than you, and it worked. Like, to great effect. Which is not something that Ino typically does. Like you said, her game plan is honestly really straightforward, but usually Ino has to kind of play a little careful, pick her spots to get that first knockdown. Then the party starts.
Right, and then she's got to be ready for those weird hits where it's like, here comes the big execution check, because that's really what it is.
Yeah, that's a thing. I will say, you don't get to see it very often, but when you get to see a true Ino specialist who can pick up the really weird straight confirms into the full knockdown, that's an art form right there. So.
Oh, here we go. So Slayer, we have been positioning this character as like, oh, these are some matchups where Slayer gets to do some parties. Here, this is not one of them.
No, nope.
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter how many times this matchup is winning for Slayer, and it hasn't always been, but even when Slayer is favored in this matchup, pretty much every Slayer player will universally tell you they don't like fighting Potemkin. Because of that. That's all it takes.
Yep.
You have a backdash that's invulnerable for 20 plus frames, and you have a 3-frame command grab that's really good at yanking people from long distance, and Slayer is someone who likes to use a sway maneuver that doesn't have any throw invulnerability on it. Sometimes that doesn't go very well.
Yep, and then, if you're a Potemkin player, one of your favorite mechanics is instant blocking. Yep. And wouldn't you know that when you instant block Slayer pressure, there are little gaps of 3 frames?
Yeah.
Can you guess what Potemkin will do?
Yeah, amazing how that works, right?
Yeah, it's...
Should have had the finish there, but gives Yurrie a little bit of life. Oh, stand jab.
Yep.
Yep.
There we go.
Give him the handshake. McBosco takes game 1. Yep. Calling out the... You're like, no, I don't think you're going to do something forward vulnerable. You aren't going to 6K here. Alright, the double mix.
And also, Potemkin's damage equalizes Slayers very well. Pot gets amazing combos, gets the FS 1-frame link with Potbuster mid-screen, so you get huge damage and great OP.
I like that McBosco here is just trying to nullify the idea of forward kick on Wake Up. Because ideally, that's exactly what Slayer wants, right? Like, throw invulnerable Oki move. That sounds pretty good in this matchup, but if you get backdash, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're cooked, right?
So, a good adjustment there from Yurrie.
Let's see. It was looking really good initially.
Excuse me, hitbox police. I need to report a crime.
Oh, crosswise journey. My favorite.
No mix works again. Top forward punch come out.
Great air throw.
Baits it. Wow, no punish. Missed the P-Buster input. Those are kind of... Alright, counter hit, crouching heavy. Yep, earns the burst. Yurrie you're just kind of like, I don't love this situation where Potemkin has meter. Being up in the air an awful lot against Potemkin is, when they have Heavenly on deck, is a scary proposition. Yurrie getting away with it so far. Nice back that, yup, grip.
Here it comes.
Ooh. Alright. First again. The bite.
Nice.
Not quite enough.
And this is the health total where landing bite matters. The chip.
The chip damage, that was
scary.
That was really scary.
Well, now the good thing about using bite and the way Yurrie, the way he loves to use bite in pressure, when you're at low health totals like that, it adds up to so much more because of guts. Because Slayer heals the same amount of health, but like that effective health is so much more when you have guts on the table, and Slayer's got great defense and great guts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's super good.
Yeah, stealing 20-30 health at that low amount of health is the equivalent of stealing closer to like 60.
Yeah.
Like it means a lot in the calculations. Right.
Oh, that was a hard bait.
That was a hard bait, but didn't get the P-Buster afterwards to punish it.
That's one of those, this is an old game things. If you didn't know, bursts actually don't have true punishable landing recovery. They have the same properties as a jumping normal.
Yes. Yeah, if you're playing a lot of like Stride right now, which you gotta get used to the idea. It's like, well, I can't air throw it, but they are recovery forever when they land. Not in this game. You have to punish that burst before it hits the ground.
Yeah. Also, I like the close S from Slayer going through pot dead angle. I was
I'm trying to figure out how Yurrie stole the corner there. That was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, nice throw.
Maybe mcbosco was buffering P-Buster and just barely pixeled forward. But yeah. I'm kind of curious to see how that happened. I was like, oh. Right. So
yeah,
Yurrie,
you've got that
close
one
this out.
To throw a burst on landing. Oh, look.
Yep. Does it again. Yep. Just keep doing it. All right. Finally got it checked, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those where, I mean, that's just a knowledge check. If you haven't seen a Slayer just try and loop a tick bite over and over again and you don't know what to do, especially a character like Potemkin that doesn't have great movement, like, that's one of those knowledge checks, and you're probably going to fail a few times. And unfortunately, that's enough to take the game there in that case. Like, usually the answer if a Slayer is blatantly trying to dash forward and bite you is look for a backdash and then punish the recovery on it. But good stuff from Yurrie. Gonna move on. And we're flying through here. We're already getting close to our top 4 winners side.
Yeah, something Draco Dragon mentioned in chat too about Potemkin Slayer that is also really unfortunate is that even if you bait and hit Potemkin Buster, it's never in counter hit state.
Yep.
Which...
Yep.
Oh, hey, here's a fun matchup. I know a lot about this one.
This is, don't get hit.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Milia in the air versus Cliff is great against his air game, but Milia on the ground versus Cliff's ground game, that is not happening.
Yeah.
Ooh, didn't dash deep enough to get that nice 2D.
Yep. Right. Yeah, and you better be picking up that hairpin ASAP, because without that, this is going to be tumultuous for Milia to deal with. Nice pickup, though, on the counter hit. All right. Yep.
Yeah. One other thing, too. A lot of pin resets and pressure don't work because Cliff is so small, and actually hitting him with the pin, if he's not committing, can be really hard because of his size.
Right. Right. This forward punch. That trade definitely goes in Cliff's favor because he has corner. Nice call out of the air dash, though, it stands strong. All right. Taking knockdown. Of course, break this.
Great block.
Nice. Yeah, wow. Nice defense from Gdom. That was really good.
Yep. Makamon, yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, counter hit letter. Could have picked up. Drops the air dash, JK.
That was a risky jump either. Alright, Nape Settle FRC. If I'm Gdom, I don't back up at all. I don't put that hairpin back on the screen again.
Yeah.
Just
want to stay right there.
Yeah. Because it's one of those things. It's like being aware of where Little Eddie is on the screen, right? If you lose track of the hairpin against Milia, nice burst, mate. Really smart. Called out the panic burst in the round. Burrito takes round 1. Yeah, I gotta imagine this is one of those matchups for Milia that's infuriating because you're actually playing someone who has a better 2D than you do, and that's not a common occurrence for this character.
Yeah, Cliff 2D is like one of the best buttons in the game. Like, full stop.
Yeah.
Just like, it might even be the best normal, honestly.
Yep.
Nice pickup. Oh, it doesn't get the dash. You gotta get that nice and early.
Yeah, the forward punch combo routing that has been done by some individual in this commentary duo who shall not be named has been a blight upon everyone who doesn't play Cliff, but as begrudgingly as I have to admit it, those are not easy to do consistently. They are very tightly timed.
Yeah, a lot of it is character specific. For Milia, you have to do either an empty air dash or 2 dashes and do a 5k 6p, and you've got to release that as soon as you can. You got to get the earliest charge because her hurt box doesn't cooperate any later. Oh, the glitchy burst! I love that. When you burst a Dusk, sometimes you like get vacuumed in when you tap. It's really weird.
Yeah, you get the vacuum in and the slight startup effect of the Dusk background. RC, double dash?
Misses the 5k.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because it's like, Cliff's dash is not good. It's good in the confines of what he does if you know how to use it to its fullest, but it's not an intuitive thing to work with.
Yeah, every Cliff mobility tool, whether it be his air dash, his forward dash, his any form of movement he has, is all geared towards the mid-range and the close-range offense. So in a traditional sense, it is a bad Guilty Gear air dash, but a really good pressure air dash, and a bad Guilty Gear dash, but a great pressure and evasive technique.
Yeah.
So you really have to augment your mind to think of it like that.
Yeah, he's also like, it's so weird because when you see a Cliff really start schmoving, you're like, God, this character, like, you're just doing stuff all the time. But it's like, if you actually try and learn how the recovery on those dashes work and the input for IAD, it honestly feels like you're trying to play a character in the depths of the ocean at first.
Yep.
There's so much more delay on all the startup. Nice pickup there, Burrito, though. All right.
Nice pickup. Yeah, here we go. This is great. One of the things is that Cliff can be kind of hard to combo Familia sometimes because of his width.
Yeah, that was really smart. I like that sequence a lot from Burrito. Didn't immediately plant Disc at the end, waited to see if Gdom was going to burst, because that is the prime burst point against Milia, is after she knocks you down and immediately plants a Disc to get it before the startup happens. And then waited, put the Disc out, baited the dodge, got the stun. That was a really good sequence. Right now, Burrito looking in control. Wow, just immediate chop. Because I'm done with this.
Well, the one flaw of this
oh God, that's gonna hurt. Oh my, why though? It was a single Dust combo, bucko.
Yeah, Milia, so one thing about Milia too that makes this matchup pain is the minute you start blocking Cliff stuff, his stuff already does quite a bit of guard bark, it's a lot of high level attacks, but Milia has horrendous guard balance, and so hers builds up really fast.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about playing a character with horrendous guard balance.
Yeah, you know.
Never
So Milia blocks IAD JKSH, gets hit by 2D, and if Cliff has 25 meters, suddenly this is death. Oh, nice.
Yeah, good cross up. All right, mix. Try to catch him pushing buttons. Gotta get the hairpin back, gets an ape saddled for the trouble. All right, good defense. Good defense again. I'd like to see some use of either FD or ID, something to not just let Cliff dash with impunity like that. Like Cliff's air dash is very good. It's not something he can just loop over and over again if you're willing to challenge him. You have to know where the challenge window is. It's going to be a burst. Doesn't beat it. Okay. A little bit of life. All right. Going to sit on the hairband. Nice far ass. Good call.
One of those things with Cliff IAD, as a pressure reset, you can jab it, you can hit it, you can IB the JH to reduce the frame advantage, and you have to basically put it on the table. You've got to make him play around it. It's not that he can't, but you have to get him there first.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're being put through the litmus test, right? And if a Cliff player sees you're not going to stop them from blatantly IEDing you over and over again, they're just going to keep doing it because there's no reason to stop. Like, it's an oppressive tool if you don't put a stop to it.
Yeah, it's a 21 frame overhead.
Yeah.
IAD JK is incredibly fast.
Wow, went for the throw and gets to beat Dust.
Nice! That was a great delay.
Yeah, really smart use. All right, gets out. Hairpin goes back in.
Oh, he's too short. Oh, the Dust!
That setup has worked like 3 times this set too. Just do an IAD and then either IAD again or land and let the Dust rip. And so far, I think Burrito's only blocked one. Actually, didn't even block the Dust. Just happened to interrupt it with a throw attempt that turned into a stand heavy. Nice block on the cross up. All right, good pickup.
Yeah, counterplaying dodge, even with Milia Disc, is really hard. You have to usually cross up the input on Wake Up or just hard call it out. That's why a lot of Milia players tend to elect to try and get Secret Garden if you have it's like that's just the only kind that's really ironclad.
Can you tell which commentator is the Cliff player in this little ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't. The letter. AT field. Nice blocks. Oh, no. Yep, if they're not going to throw you.
Yeah, just have to disengage. It's almost like you just have to back off, let the dodge recover organically, and then basically go back to square one. Now, there has been a couple of dodges. It's not really going to matter at this point because next hit is probably going to kill Cliff regardless. But the stun is definitely up. All right, Burrito with the burst.
Oh.
Cross up, doesn't get the full confirm. Wow, jump. Oh, didn't get out of the way of jump knee.
Oh, 2D. Yeah, you can't run for it against that.
When in doubt, 2D.
Sniper rifle, man. That button alone shuts out so many of Milia's grounded options. She has to 6K. Like
it shuts out so many characters' grounded options.
Yeah.
It's such a hard button to work around because you're just not used. It's one thing to have a far-reaching low or a far-reaching low-profile poke that can snipe you out of dashing in, right? Like, plenty of characters have those. No character in the game has one like Cliff where it's like, if you get counter hit, not only did you get sniped, you're probably losing 50% of your bar for it. Like, the risk reward on throwing out that button, even though it does have a notable amount of recovery, is so high in Cliff's favor in almost any neutral situation that's like, why wouldn't you test them to see if they know how to get around it?
Yep. It's a button that, like, it defines matchups. Like, characters are going to have to be like, how do I deal with this? It's like Johnny 5K, where it is eponymous to the character. It is like a cornerstone of how they operate.
Yeah, there's almost every character in this game has like the one button or the one move that it's like, hey, just structure your entire game plan around this. Like, it doesn't have to always involve this one thing, but you should structure your offense neutral and your defensive game plan around what can my opponent do about this thing that is just a very, very powerful tool for me to work with. And if you build around it, then it just only gets better because you add other layers so people start looking for other stuff, and then they go right back to getting hit by 2D. Yeah,
it's just immensely good. And it's one of those situations where it forces so many characters to just have to jump. You are going to have to jump.
Yep. And that's a scary proposition because Cliff has very good anti-airs. A lot of them are committal, but it's like Cliff is not afraid to sit there and just wait for you to try and come down on him and then punish you for it. There's a lot of ways he can do it. You know, you would think it's like, oh, this character has a charge forward punch and no real dragon punch or anything like that. Jump in should actually be pretty effective, and if the Cliff player is looking for it, no, it really is.
Yeah, no, this is the GameStop manager, as I call him, because there are so many things that can just trade, and it's never good, and you're always gonna wish you didn't trade, because he's the GameStop manager, and that was your copy of Metal Gear Solid for Pokemon, like Scarlet and Violet or some shit. I don't know.
That is.
It's a great term, isn't it? Everybody loves it when I say the GameStop manager.
As someone who worked in software, etc. in high school, that is way too real. It hurts my soul in multiple ways. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. 100% accurate. I cannot debate this concept. So.
Yeah, jumping versus Cliff is really powerful, like out of his pressure, because a lot of it can be fuzzy jumps. But the scary proposition is if your back is to the wall, when you jump, you can't move away. You have to clear him, and that is where things get interesting for Cliff. Yeah. And that's why so much of his meteor economy is push you to the corner and pressure you there.
Yeah, there's just so much. There's just too much to navigate once you have no real estate to work with. Like, Cliff is very good at controlling that third of a screen right in front of his face. So it's like you don't have a good avenue of escape. But gonna get some more Cliff here. Yurrie versus Gdom.
Yeah,
I assume this is another matchup where the ground normals can do a lot of work. Except when you run into Undertow.
Yeah, you got to be careful as Cliff in this matchup. But there are two things that I think really stand out. For one, it's that every Cliff normal has active frames up the ass.
Right.
Like you are like you'd have a harder time finding a button that isn't 6 frame plus active on Cliff. It is sincerely harder to find that than it is to find like low, which poses a natural issue for Slayer.
Ooh, what?
And then Slayer, on top of dealing with these buttons, here's the character with the fireball that's active for half a second. That isn't in counter hit state once it's out. And if it counter hits you, you are in hit stun for 5 sextillion years.
Right.
And to make things more annoying, Cliff Dodge is pretty potent in this matchup because Slayer does really bad stun damage, even on big counter hits.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like you see giant Slayer counter hits and you think, oh, this character's probably really good at stunning, and it's like, actually no. If it's not specifically counter hit pile bunker, Slayer doesn't actually destroy your stun game. Good clutch out there from Gdom. Yeah, I like the use of Bakemono to just cover horizontal space. Like one of like 5 ways Cliff can just cover the ground space in this matchup.
Yes, 236P is immeasurably good at stopping any FDC. Bakemono is great at just passively controlling the ground and stuff. And the best part is, even if you're doing something like BDCing, Cliff doesn't open your taunt ult, you can just do that. And like, your BDC jump, oh no. Like,
ooh. I was gonna say, I was wondering if we'd see a 2H. It seems like a prime matchup for it, but the second it comes out, immediately counter hit. So clearly my ideas are dumb and I'm bad.
No, Slayer 2H is great because it is the one normal that can really contest 2D.
I was actually talking about Cliff 2H. Like,
oh, 2H. Yeah. Well, you know, A or B, right?
Right.
Cliff 2H is great because it's an unprorated low, and if you're fighting a character that likes to hold up, you can insert that into many strings.
Sure.
And just catch the free jump.
Yeah, just natural fuck the frame trap, basically.
Yep. 5P 2H can only be jumped if they ID the 5P. So like, you have a lot of options.
Yeah, I definitely just casually ID Cliff's jab.
5P.
Easy.
Oh, but Yurrie playing really good right now. Yes. Yeah. What you want. Yeah.
The bite. Yep. Holding the corner. Yeah,
so
that is
all of Cliff's strength on offense, right? As we talked about. And in defense is where he struggles, not necessarily because of dodge, but because of his really floaty jump.
Yes.
He has good free jump, but like actually fuzzy jumping out of the corner and making defensive movement as Cliff is hard.
Yeah. One of my fellow co-commentators, Sammy Fish, has a saying. It's like, once you're on the ground, you're just like the rest. And for Cliff's case, once he's in the corner, he's just like the rest. Like, he does not magically just get to be like, oh, it's fine, I'm Cliff. I don't have to worry about that. That's not where Cliff wants to be at all. Even the most basic pressure presents a lot of challenges for him to try and deal with. All right.
Nice. Doesn't confirm the reflex. It's okay. There's no real punish. Nice movement from Yurrie. Yeah, gets the big hit. Take their burst. That's all you want. Even if you lose this round.
Yep, getting the burst. All right, 2 hit deep. Yep. Wow, went for the burst. I get it. I understand it. We've all done it. We're all going to do it again. But that feels so bad when you go for the hero burst to try and steal the game and you don't get it. That never feels good.
Oh, nice JK.
Yeah, really good use of JK to beat out Jump Heavy. Knockdown, where's the mix? Nice defense. Baits it all out. Good punish.
Nice TK drill. Yeah, there you go. Full corner, 25 meters, baby.
Yep.
Almost the throw. Doesn't get it, but doesn't matter.
That's all right. Stand Heavy doesn't care if you jumped out.
Oh.
Oh! Oh, what? Nice. Oh, that was so smart.
I like it.
Start pressure. Yep, mix. It's so hard to stop that. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to push a button after blocking that?
Yeah, you are. It's scary. You've just got to watch when Cliff dashes up. And then if you're wrong, though, and he presses 5K right outside of throw range.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
it's almost like spinning meter for a nominal advantage in the corner might be really good for your offensive pressure.
Yeah.
Just really, it's so wild to me to see how this character has evolved, because when you look at Cliff, you're like, this character's throw game can't be good. Look at that slow dash. Look at his stumpy movement. Like, throw is the last thing I worry about this character. He's just got the big butter knife. No, that throw game is absolutely mortifying to deal with.
Right, because it's just slow enough to not be completely seeable, and he's got a lot of ways to sort of sneak it in.
Yeah.
And just, it's not even because it's consistent, it's because the reward is so crazy that you get one throw and you have meter, you could possibly end the game either from that throw conversion itself, or you spend 25 meter to set up like a 6P route into taunt Oki, and then the next guess is it.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Like, lots of characters have a ton of ways to set up throw games in Plus R, because, I mean, it's a one-frame throw. It's really good, right? But Cliff's literally the only character in the game that throws you and you might have just lost the round for. Like, even Milia, who puts you in the mix, or Eno, who puts you in the mix, that's not a guarantee. But anyway, moving on, we got Draco Dragon taking on Cheese.
Have you seen them play before, Twitch?
I have played them a billion moons ago, so not often. No, I have not seen their soul much.
They are, I like to call them the one person that I know that, like, plays that kind of soul and makes it work in bracket.
Okay.
And I think you know what I mean when I say this. I don't even mean it as like as an insult. That's just how they operate.
Right. Not there. I mean, look, Kusarola had created a culture, and that culture has stuck around for the test of time. And there are always going to be souls that do this, and there's nothing you're ever going to be able to do about it except you better learn how to fight wild souls.
Yep.
Because if you don't stay on your game, you don't prepare to bait at every possible moment, you can get robbed. It can happen. Soul's really good at doing that.
Yup.
Case in point, like, innocuous hit here, and it's going to turn into well over 50%.
Yeah. And NuclearCheese is no stranger to using this character's tools like that. And I think him versus Draco Dragon is such a great matchup because Draco Dragon plays a very stable, solid Slayer with, like, the occasional, like, spicy read.
Right.
But generally speaking, he's very knowledgeable and very much the type of player that goes by the book.
Right.
No! No!
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's just like, you better know your burst points against players like this, because there are some players who I liken to talk about who are like, they just want your burst, but they don't just want your burst. They want to throw it. They want to send the message. Doesn't matter if they could bait it and punish it for 220 damage. They want to throw it on the principle of the matter. And so you have to look for it. And right now, like, you can tell, like, that was mental guard gaming.
Yeah,
is on the back foot here right now. All right.
It's not even just that oh god. It's not even just that the burst got thrown. It was at like the cusp of such a good-looking situation.
Yep.
And like that's just how it is, right? And bursting good in this game is not necessarily always committing to what is a good in quotes burst, but it's definitely knowing when I'm up a round, I don't need to burst. I'm confident that I can take this player in another round without throwing mine away.
Yeah. Yeah, situational awareness obviously is important in any fighting game. Using burst in Plus R is a unique thing where you really have to measure your status in the current port. You know, what is the game state? Are you on the verge of losing the set? Yes, you probably should look for any point whatsoever that you might be able to get away with the burst. If you got some wiggle room to work with, like, choose your spots, because there's nothing worse in this game than getting your burst baited. Because not only do you have to deal with the fact that you got baited, now you don't have a burst for way longer. Nice forward punch. Yep. Good call out.
Love that. Yeah. Do not use Tiara as a reversal. Oh.
See, you can say that, but it's not going to stop them.
No, I know. I know. Oh.
Alright, knockdown. Wow, no reversal. Kind of surprised.
Alright, Cheese. It's the play. Oh! Yeah, I don't think there is an IB there. That might have been a 5K.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Draco waiting, like, not immediately going for the overhead, like, waiting, seeing if there's a reversal, and then it's like, okay, now I'm gonna throw it. Nice right stamp there. Get out of the corner. Oh, no.
Draco's gotten his bearings a little bit here. He looks a little bit more composed at the end of that last round.
Didn't do a follow-up on Fafnir. Interesting. The move that is minus $1 million on hit in this game. I like the air dash reset there. Try and call out and see how good you can stagger. Alright, it's the burst, right?
Great footloose journey earlier there to just stay safe on that JS.
Yeah, Draco looking clean. That guard bar is getting a little spicy. Alright, we're out. We're out.
Yeah, one of the nice things about Slayer that makes like no sense, but it's pretty cool, is that he has really good guard balance, kind of like Faust, where his guard bar goes up slower when he blocks.
Yes. Yeah.
So not only does he have BDC, I think a good Slayer player is also measured and knows when they can afford to block a lot because their guard bar isn't going to go to flashing very quickly.
Yeah. No. Like honestly, one of the more super frustrating things to play against in Plus R is a Slayer with good defense who doesn't flail to get out of a defensive situation because they know if they wait a little bit, they can build some meter, probably FD you out, and then they have an easy BDC jump or just a straight BDC out of what you're doing.
Yep. And for all that trouble, their guard bar is looking clean too. Nice pickup.
Right, 2E. That's the mix. A little too high on the air dash. Back to neutral. I'd like to see a little bit more gunplay, just control space, but of course Cheese wants to go in. Like they're trying to play up front. Oh, no punish. That feels bad. Huh. Another exchange of ideas in the Plus R investment bank fund.
Oh no!
Oh, a little too high. It's not an easy link to get.
Oh, Slayer's so wide that's gonna hit from that distance.
Yep. Alright, pushes out from the dust, but yeah, just let it rip.
Yeah, FD is one of the strongest things you can do against soul pressure. But, man oh man, you gotta be careful if he's looking for... Oh, yeah. God.
Because the thing is like, not only do you FD, but you have to know how to take advantage of the push block that you got. Like, do you make an escape? Do you try and enforce a whiff punish? Something like that, which can be really hard to do on Soul because so many of his moves do recover really quickly.
Oh, that was so nice. That was such a clean round.
That was really, really smart. Just says, nah, I'm gonna pretend that dead angle doesn't exist.
Everything from that 5H hitting Soul jumping in the corner onward was like a perfect sequence, like the water in the river.
Alright, turns the corner, right, yeah, you gotta, it's something you have to count for. Alright, no punish again. Wow, those hurt. God, when you're playing a Wild Soul, if you don't hurt them for whipping Volcanic Viper, like, you are just giving them a giant neon sign that says, do it again.
Yeah, this is old game-itis. That DP is not going to be as slow to recover as you want it to be. So you gotta be ready for it. Ooh, that's it. Yeah.
Such an annoying mix-up to deal with if you don't have meter. Like, you basically have to instant block and then try and interrupt or backdash out more often than not with Slayer. But that's hard to do because you don't know what hit he's going to Roman cancel the Grand Viper, which makes it really obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah. Really well played to both players. I really like NuclearCheese. I actually think he slowed down a little bit later in that set.
Yeah, definitely.
He realized that, okay, Draco was picking up a little too quick. I better stop.
Yeah, it obviously was feeling pretty good with the burst grab and kind of was in the head, and then Draco settled down, turned it into a really good back and forth set there. So good stuff to both players.
And Draco carrying to the bracket doing really good because he earlier, if you look, he knocked out Blitz 2-1, really close.
Yeah.
Which that's a huge situation. So good stuff to Draco. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I think you can make top 8. I can dandy step through the gap in GV. Yeah, there's like, ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah, that's the fun part about Plus R, right? Is like even the most oppressive interactions, there is an answer. It just may not be an answer that you want to try and do.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, 100%. And I can only speak from my own experience. But like, back when I started playing Cliff in 2021, which is, oh god. Man, ain't that funny. That was back when I was learning the Faust matchup, and it looked a lot different back then. And Hano and I, we would constantly DM each other, and we'd butt heads about like, how the hell do we get around stuff? Because it's like, it's so oppressive, and it felt like there was no answer, but you just gotta really dig in this game. And you'll find something. And sometimes the answer will just be, don't be in that situation, but there are lots of ways to make that probable, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, this is a fun matchup.
Oki Queen versus Oki Queen.
Yeah, I think the real thing that differentiates how these two characters operate is just like the clearance for Milia to get a knockdown, if she's managing pin and her resources correctly, is so much higher than Ino's off of like angles that you wouldn't think Ino could knock down. From Milia's like, well, I got hairpin, check this out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Milia's convertibility definitely. Not only is there just more routes to get the job done, it's also just not going to require near as much on-the-fly adjustment as Ino does to get some of those awkward knockdowns off confirmed. So yeah, that is definitely the difference in this matchup, where both characters are, again, they're running the same game plan, and neither of these characters are particularly easy to pilot. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, that was a strive combo. Oh, they're on the ground. Well, they're not getting up. Smack.
Donk.
Nice block. Overhead. Good stuff.
Yeah, so much of Milia's matchups against other characters that run very similar game plans to her is just like the edge that she always has, is just that convertibility and that air knockdown clearance of pin.
Yeah, convertibility and mobility. Like, Ino is a mobile character, but her movement is definitely more stagnant than Milia's for a lot of reasons. And again, and of course, even in situations where it's like you may not love your options, if you've got the hairpin, you still have one of the best options in all the fields. Oh, that would have been a sick pickup.
And
nice air
Milia
grab.
roll is such a fucking big interrupt for anything Ino does, because she has a really hard time calling out low pro like that.
Yes.
If you don't know, right, you've probably seen the clip of Ino 2K just missing ABBA slides. You can imagine how well any of her lows that aren't like a 5H or a 2H are going to hit like Milia roll.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it is definitely a notable hole in Ino's kit. It's funny because for the longest time, the big knock on Ino was that she had a notable dead zone in the mid-range. And she still does to some extent, but changes to normals and versions that went on, it's not quite as bad as it used to be. But her ability to deal with low-profile moves has never been good. Like,
yeah.
it is a real hole that you have to try and cover up in the game plan. Yeah, really good air throw. Right, good jump out of the dive.
Oh, these JHs are very, 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 very dangerous, but I like the vision, because it's an OS air throw, and it's like, if Milia's anywhere around you, you're going to whack her, and if you bonk her with the counter hit, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff there. Go on to game 2.
Alright. Let's see if Chasetiddy can see if they can run it back.
Yeah, getting some momentum there. Just gotta. This is one of those matchups where, like, obviously, when you're playing an OP-hated character, your goal is get the knockdown and just control the game from here. But like we said, because of the difference in mobility and convertibility in this matchup, if you're Ino, you really don't want to have to chase Milia down more than once if you can help it. Easier said than done. You got to bait first. You got to convert all your hits. But when you have to hunt down this character in the air multiple times, that's not a recipe for success. I like the nice simple pressure there, just forcing block. Nice use of stroke to get under.
Oh, these H-dive, I'm gonna call out.
Nice stagger shake to block the overhead on that by Burrito, though. That was really good. Right.
Get stagger wiggle, depending on your training partner in this game, can be trained into you very simply. My first training partner was Skeletal Minion.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I have the Mario Party hands.
That was the most blatant throw I've ever seen Amelia do.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm gonna walk up and do it. That was like a Street Fighter 5 like silver net play for like,
yeah,
but I mean that in a good way. It was just like, I'm gonna do it.
I mean, when you have the disc on you and you don't have a reversal, like, that's not fun. You're scared. Like, and you should be. It's the disc is infamous for a reason.
Yeah, it's
Cassidy with a really nice life lead, but yep. Alright, it starts. Does have a burst on deck. Nice block.
I can't believe that beat the dead angle. That was nasty from Naruto.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright. Yep. Nice forward punch.
Let's talk about really good buttons. Milia 6P is like the do not advance King of Fighters diamond button.
It covers a cross up. That's probably going to do it. Yep. Like, in terms of 6Ps, it's kind of slow. It has a lot of coverage on it, but it covers an angle that Milia just loves to have covered. It does so much work for her because it's the kind of angle where you do want to try to approach. Because you're just like, I don't want to give this character room to maneuver. I don't want them being able to just throw hairpins at me. Like, let me just see if they whiff something or they're trying to get cute and place out Secret Garden, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go in. And then the next thing you know, you're just swatted.
Yeah, 6
swatted, knocked down.
Smoke you, yeah.
It's
2 hits, so if it hits at the right height, they can even hit confirm it and see if you got hit by the first one and be like,
Yeah.
And, like, it's... Like, the one big flaw is that the recovery on it is very high for a 6B. But, like, the start, it's lightning fast, too, frame 7.
Yeah.
Like, but if she whiffs it, that is liability, depending on how the other character's approaching.
Yeah, and thankfully it's not the old days where she could just rapid chain stand jab to cover for the recovery on 5.
Those are the old days where she could just throw pin and pick it up right away.
Yeah.
Yay! Right? How do you even whiff Milia 6B? You know, you're right. I do play a character that, like, is like the fighting game character for ants, so maybe I'm a little biased, but like, I've seen it with Winky Face.
It's one of those that, like, because it's such a good anti-air, you can get addicted to using it, and there are ways to bait it. It's just that if you're using it properly, it covers a spot that feels really bad to deal with when you're playing against the Milia matchup. You're just like, cool, so that avenue's also cut off, and she has the hairpin, and I hate everything.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's a very, like, smothering button. It's a demoralizing button. I like it as that. Anyways, we're seeing this matchup again now, played by Blitz and Jade, so... Now, Jade's been practicing this matchup a lot with another Milia player, Ransomware.
Okay.
So she's been grinding it out specifically for bracket. I'm curious to see what that turns out.
Roll throw, the classic.
I think that crossed up the throw away. It looked like Jade, the startup of CS, was coming out there.
Roll throw worked in 2003, it still works in 2023.
And now, I call every 5D that hits the 2002. So I mean, like, it's just this. If it works, don't knock it, right? Oh god.
Right. Yeah,
there it is. That's the Oki that everybody wants. That right there.
There's never been a better Oki tool in Guilty Gear than the true meaty Secret Garden setup. It's you sit there, and unless your name is RoboKai from Reload, you're just like, well, this sucks.
Specifically from Reload. RoboKai Reload mode. What a counter hit on the FS there.
Yeah. All right. Nice confirm. All right. Start the mix. Go low. Very good. Mercy.
Oh my god.
Should have enough. Yeah. Nope. Smoke.
Yeah, see, when you're talking about, like, when you see a specialist of this character do a combo, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
It's just something about it where it's just like,
And that is the one advantage. If you can hit all your combos, you know, you're going to cash out Milia's life bar way faster than she can cash out. Nice bait on vertical. Really smart.
Well, to answer why Reload Robo was good, most characters were worse. Bazooka built guard bar, and you didn't have flashback.
Bar S was 9 frames.
Oh, yeah! Oh, and Matt was a better... It was not only faster, but it placed it right on its feet, too.
Also, a command grab could take your entire meter.
Yep.
Nice.
We used to be a real country. Oh, what a jump D!
Milia Jump D is one of those buttons, like, when I see a Milia player who's really effective at using Jump D, I get super scared, because that button, when used powerfully, is so scary. It's a gigantic button with gigantic reward on counter hit. Right.
It's got like that really big wind up, but then when you hear it come out and you block it, you hear like the level 5 bottle pop sound. You're like, okay, I don't want to get hit by that thing.
Yeah,
like...
yeah. The forbidden level 6. Nice pick.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Wow, waited. Really good delay. And grabs the burst. All right. I see you, ChemicalJade. Down to cook.
Oh my god, I am not leaving. I will not stop going in. Oh my goodness.
That was, man, what a weird exchange. The note was actually ended up whipping, so Blitz tried to flinch and ended up getting hit by Stroke for it, but gets the throw. Jade does not have burst to work with, nor enough meter for reversal, all right.
one of those weird situations where like messing up your meaty sometimes creates like this mix-up opportunity because like you can confirm when no hit your block.
Oh, the jump out!
That was such a good fuzzy jump. Yeah, that was good. She felt that in her heart. She was like, I know he's gonna throw.
Right, and you know Blitz was, you know, kind of not going full bore there, expecting a dead angle or a reversal at some point, and that gave Jade just enough room to use that fuzzy jump, but the first is faded. Not a full confirm, though. This will be. Wow.
Nice pickup. Look at that.
Yep. Hairpin? I don't need no hairpin to confirm. Combo drops, though. All right.
Good air throw. The reward is a little iffy. Oh,
pokes in the disc. Little throw, yep. Right.
Yeah, at situations like those when your life deficit is so high, your real goal is to just live as long as you can to build as much burst back.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, no. Oh no! PlayStation 2 loading times!
Help.
We're back in 2006, let's go! Alright.
Alright.
Nice backdash.
Alright.
Now that is something Eno does have that is extremely blessed. One of the best in the game. It's not like Potemkin or Justice, but it is very good. Just a ton of invincibility for what it is.
Yeah. For the type of character she is, it's exactly what you want out of a backdash. City Garden. Can't block it all, man. You can try. You can always try, but it's so hard to block 3 layers of constant mix-up.
Nice she got out! It was so clean. FD note to cover the fuzzy jump, too, and counter hit with the dive.
Blitz able to gold burst out. Possible does, yep. Getting knocked down. Blitz got a lot of meter to play with, yep. Max range forward kick.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Secret Garden Mix is you can make it so safe. Like, you don't have to overcommit, and you still, at minimum, are going to get 2 really good 50-50s out of it.
Yep.
It's like, it's weird because Milia's kit is definitely harder to use in this version than it was in Vanilla Accent Core by a wide margin. But when you have stuff like Force Break Secret Garden, you're like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, it is nasty. It is very, very scary when used effectively. The only saving grace you have is that projectile does not build guard bar.
Yep.
Speaking of things you can build that aren't guard bar, click that Naturino code and redeem it to build the prize pool for these awesome players.
Yeah. Let's get these folks some nice rewards for blazing through this bracket here on the Burst Weekly.
Yeah, it's going really efficiently.
Yeah, no, we're down to our top 6 already.
Okay, Slayer Millie. Okay, so something I know about this matchup. Something I do know that every Slayer player says it's tough, but every Milia player I see talk about it hates it. Because, like, if they don't get the exact right knockdown with, like, the Secret Garden Oki, Slayer just wakes up and goes, ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
Puts hole in your stocking.
This is again, I call this a classic XX series matchup because typically these two characters are both very strong in just about any version of the game, and the matchup pretty much has always gone the same way. It's Milia can do Milia things, knock Slayer down, hold Oki, and run the set all the way from there, but one mistake might be it. And Slayer can make many mistakes. Like, a lot of times it's one of those where it's like, okay, on paper this is probably somewhere close to a 5-5, and in practice it feels miserable for the Milia player. Just because even if they have like 10 games in a row where they get their knockdown and they run their game and they make the Slayer look like a fool, they're going to remember the 2 where they ate a counter hit and died.
Yep. That's like the curse of Milia. And it does not help that when you're on the back foot against Slayer and your guard bar is getting jacked at like turbo speed, when you're blocking 5k, you look up there and you like see the death clock ticking, right?
Yeah.
You know, like Toki looked up at the stars and saw the star of death. Like, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh!
Gold burst. Wow, nice anti-air. That was really good.
That button, juiced. That is.
It is. It is. It's one of those cases of an amazing button being on a character that has a bunch of amazing buttons, so sometimes it just gets forgotten about. But yeah, 2S is it's not an anti-air that you just like throw out all the time, covering space and going, no, you're not jumping in on me. But if you use it effectively, that button feels like you just have no avenue in the air against Slayers.
Yeah, that button is like the stop sign. Like it's it signposts that specific angle right above Slayer's head where you can't really cover conveniently.
Yes.
But oh, it does it so well.
Oh, it doesn't get the knockdown. That hurts. All right, Bates. Big bang upper. Here we go. All right, going for big combos. Nice knockdown.
Okay, we got 2 more chances. Yep.
That, I don't need 3 50-50s. I'm just going to do one with 2 fake outs in front. Nice defense, though, for Draco to get out. All right, jump kick, counter hit. He'll convert. Nope, takes the knockdown. Good block. Does he jump out? Oh, gets tagged. Okay, we're out.
Yeah, Millia players, I can't blame them with the guard bar build that high. They hold up more than the average Contra speedrunner, and if you're looking for it, it's...
Is there first? Oh, it didn't. Oh my god, the magic pixel. Secret garden trade. 2 of them. Yeah. 2 of them run that back for Burrito. Wow.
Yeah, that's something we didn't even talk about with Secret Garden. It does not go away when you hit her.
No.
That's the chief difference between it and like regular disc, or even Force Break disc that's not been out for a while.
Man.
If you hit Millia, it disarms them. But Secret Garden, once that's out,
it's out. Yep. It's the original Dizzy Fish. All right, convert. Hairpins off screen. Don't really need it. Yep. I'm surprised Draco moved forward.
That 2K just low crush. Or,
yep.
You know? You know?
Yep, overhead. Wow, just waited out. Oh, doesn't get the pickup though. All right, overhead again.
Yes, the blender got bigger.
Nice BDC jump out though. Gripped.
BDC air throw is one of the nastiest anti-airs of all time.
It is. It's very strong. All right, see Garden Milking.
Wow! The air IB'd the second hit there, right when it came down. So the way Secret Garden hits. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was super good. All right, hairpin, convert, the burst, baits it, doesn't punish though. Oh god, could have just. All right. There's like 3 different times there. I'm like, all right, he's got it, and then it just went into an extra mix.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yeah, that jump IB on the Secret Garden was critical. So if you know how that works, the minute it changes direction, it'll hit again. So it might just seem like it's hitting at random times, but it's always the minute it shifts its movement.
Yes.
So if you have like a fixation on that timing, you can instant block like that, and it can sometimes, since you're in the air, cut so much block stone. You can like sneak a throw through like that.
Yeah, pretty much the only answer that Draco had there, but Burrito's still able to clutch it out, so we're going to a 3rd game here. Big confirm. Nice block on the 6K. Good patience from Draco, daring Burrito to do anything. Pickup, yup.
Slayer 2P. Evil button, that one.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so nice. Frame 4, really plus. Draco used it really well there to just like chuck check at any point in that pressure. It's just like, hey, you gonna do anything?
Yeah, it's super low risk, but get you a lot of reward, especially if they flinch and need a counter hit. Like, even though it's a jab starter, Slayer can convert that into real good damage. All right, nice patience. Oh, it doesn't get the juggle, though, and gets the Secret Garden stuff. That feels real bad. All right, knockdown.
Nice block. Nice block! Wow!
I swear it has been nothing but overheads, and they're all getting blocked. Somebody needs to do meaty low here. Right,
you know...
Alright.
I'm wondering if plus R players are just like that special kind, where it's like every TK bad moon gets blocked, but the slow 6K overheads they do after like 5 years, it always hits. It's just like, well, it's like the same curse Skullgirls players have, where it's like, if that overhead is at 9 frames, I'm gonna get hit by it. But if it's 9 frames, I'm blocking it.
Right.
Oh, what a throw!
Bro. And yep, that's not, wow. Technically dropped, but doesn't matter. Black Meat still counts for a round victory.
Mm-hmm.
We're on final game, final round here. Alright, hairpin, nice. Hurts.
Yeah, there it is. Disco-key, huh?
Wow, good chase down. Not a little too high to get the full conversion. That was a really good chase down for Burrito.
Yeah, Burrito using JK, which is just such a godlike normal for contesting airspace right around there.
Super good button. Alright. Next, nice bait on the burst. Very good. Again. Baits. Yep, looking good here. Burrito pretty close to closing this out. Probably going to take one. No, maybe not. Should have enough. Oh, no! so close. Finish it off.
This is classic Milia versus the Slayer right here.
It really
yeah.
is.
Okay.
You know there were anime sweat drops on Burrito's head there for those last 10 seconds. Like the oh my god, how did I not do that? But keeps the composure, gets the job done. Very nice job. Gonna stay alive in this bracket. So yeah, doing super good.
Spectator lag. Oh gosh.
As amazing as all the plus R features are, internet lag do remain undefeated though.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yep.
It's okay though. You can just say that it was my godlike future insight. I just knew Burrito would do that.
T5 clairvoyance EX.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Watch this. Round start 5K. From Slayer. It's such an unorthodox choice. They'd never do it.
the most cursed Guilty Gear power. I know what every other player is going to do unless they're playing me.
Right.
Then I just flail.
It's true. Multiple times I'm in a call with somebody. They're streaming their game and I'm like, they're not baiting burst. And I'm like, okay. They hit them once. They do a combo. They get OP. And I'm like, okay, the next time you hit them, they'll burst. And they don't believe me. And then it happens. And I'm like, what did I tell you?
I'm a prophet.
Listen, and then you get me to do that in bracket? No way, buddy. Not once.
Not even once.
Milia Slayer, it's like a storytelling matchup because it's all going great, and then like Air Choka hits Milia, and you're like, okay, next match. Teal's at the station, like, okay, next.
Yep. So why not? Let's just do it. I feel like we have run the same match like back to back, like for the last 6 sets.
Yeah, you know, this is starting to look like what the hell, Goku versus Vegeta? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This time I'm Majin Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, Slayer. Something about Blitz, he's really willing to do that in neutral. I don't know if it's just because he thinks it's funny or a good idea, but it's definitely pretty cool.
It's one of those things. I've always likened to just like blatantly throwing out Iron Saber once in a while. It's like I don't even really consider it like a litmus test or a big check because even God,
Hey there, hey buddy.
Nice roll.
That was really weird.
That's really smart. Yep, just enough to get under the under pressure. Yep.
Yeah.
First, okay.
Okay, this is how we're moving forward and building meter.
Yeah, throwing out Iron Savior in neutral, it's one of those things that's like, you're probably not going to get hooked up on. Oh, he doesn't get the. Okay, there we go. Pick it back up.
It's called Iron Savior. That sounds like a Castlevania song.
Probably is. I mean, so probably on the pachinko machine. But yeah, throwing that out in neutral is just one of those things like you just give your opponent one more annoying thing to think about, and then you're able to do more things like just throw blatant hairpin and go in, or use a second air dash and force your way in because they're going to do
really
something else.
Unfortunate roll into missed throw. It just slightly picks outside the throw range, gets duffed by counting at 5-inch.
Right.
Oh, the Milia throw range is pretty. Oh no!
Wow. Wow, jump D whiffs and runs right into stand heavy. Alright, got the pick
It
up.
wasn't AC, that might have been it right there.
Right.
In the air,
delay air dash. Alright, first is on deck. Yurrie trying to. Yep, Blitz waits it out. Yep, really smart. Really, really smart. I hate that Milia players have finally learned to sit and wait for the OTG burst at the end of combos because that used to be the juice. It's like, alright, I'm getting out of this.
Thank God, man. I've been just
now
looking for it, and it's like, man, come on.
That's practically cheating.
Come on, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, you better burst. You better burst that. Gets it out in time. Wow.
Milia gets counter hit by Slayer. Oh no!
Yeah.
I was kidding! Oh no, the profit spikes. Oh.
Wow, one of those times being truly lightweight saved Milia there. Wasn't able to get the full confirm with the Big Bang upper that deep combo. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't say anything as someone who has had probably 5 billion reens turn around mid auto guard and hook me up, but still, you're just like, Well, that
Who's
happened.
that image of like Fei Long doing like 3 moves and Gen doing like 5 million? I need that right now. Yurie's playing really well. I think he's just like, he's looking at Blitz thinking a lot and going, watch this, bro. Watch this. You're gonna land and press a button, huh? You're gonna be behind me, huh, smart guy? Like,
hold my beer.
wait. Okay, it's cool. I got one more chance. Yep, whatever. I got one more chance.
Alright, dude.
It's cool.
Oh no! Okay. Dissipate.
That's my favorite kind of burst, the gold burst, where you know they thought the combo was gonna happen. You know, it's like, oh, you hit them and then you like drop, and then they gold burst, and you're like, oh god, sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, the bite!
Yeah, the bite kept him alive. Yep. I felt like Blitz like waited out like 10 things. I'm like, okay, this round's over, and then it just kept going.
That was truly the cliff combo of plus R rounds. Oh, what a 2D! So let's see if this is a long movie like a documentary where Amelia gets to run OP, or if Slayer gets a counter hit and it's Oppenheimer. Oh god!
Wasn't counter hit, but still.
No, I just get scared when I see Slayer hit Amelia now. I like I recoil. I'm like, no.
Alright. Full conversion for Blitz. Start the mix. Oh wow. Not block on the wake up. Nice use of disc. That was really smart. Just stuff the approach completely.
This is plus R Bloodsport. Like, put them in a cage for our amusement. Like, every Amelia player fighting Slayer, they're like, Jesus Christ, they're like aging. It's like the final guy in Ashton Ojo. They end the set, their hair is all gray, and the whole crowd's like, yeah! I'm like,
it doesn't matter if you walk out alive. Part of you is very dead.
Yeah, it's like, boy. Okay, oh no!
Oh, do it again.
No, I'm gonna say it. Slayer 2H is a pretty good button.
It's not bad. It might be decent. Might be aight.
Einstein was a little okay at math.
Right.
Oh my god!
Nice punish on the big bang upper with the hairpin. That was really good. I feel like Blitz is gonna have to change up his secret garden patterns, because right now Yurie's just like, cool, I'm just gonna dash at you.
Oh, what? What? I desperately wish I still had the Hanna-Barbera sound mod installed right about now. There's just... It's not on right now, but I really... Oh, what a reset!
Did it again, too. Wow.
Let's go.
Wow. Blitz is like, I can just throw nonsense at the bottom of the screen when you're in the air, too. I do get an irrational wince when I see a raw big bang upper clip someone high on the screen, and I'm just like, huh.
What? Hey!
Huh. Well,
just, right now, I'm just...
No, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. Hot damn.
And then if you win some, share with me. Yeah. I gifted you with this power.
Gifted or cursed?
Exercise, well, you'll figure out later.
Will I? Drop, alright. Blitz got a long hill to climb here. Yurrie has burst, has a lot of life. Wow, I wonder if Blitz thought he was gonna get meter back. Oh!
What?
What an exchange. Look, I know play-by-play is not easy. I've been doing this for a long time, but there are just times where it's just like, I don't have words. It doesn't matter how long you give me. I don't have words for that exchange.
Yeah, I feel like these two have played a lot in bracket, so part of me is just like, that was, oh my god. I saw him, oh no!
Wow, that could have been it.
That didn't hit Milia's toe.
Right.
This game is notorious for that. How did it...
The mix, okay.
That was a nice pickup too.
Yep. Max damage cash out. Alright.
You better, yeah, you better. It was not quite perfect.
Yep.
But it was just enough.
I did, like, Yurrie was happy to take that trade, but alright, still has to hit one more mix-up. Oh, yeah. Calls it out really good. Calls out the back.
Beautiful. And Blitz just gets up from his chair, and he's just a skeleton now. And everybody's like, yeah! Yurrie walks away, slams down another beer. Let's go.
Yurie's like, I can't wait for the next bracket. Blitz is like, I retire. Help. Alrighty, so yeah, thanks for tuning in to Boston Blue Beat, everybody. September 16th, they're going to be coming back with the next offline monthly featuring the usual games, Guilty Gear Strive, Blaze Blue Central Fiction, Granblue Versus, and more. Sign-ups are going to be handled at Balance Patch. Doors open at 2 p.m. with the earliest bracket at 4 p.m. You can hit !monthly in the chat to sign up if you want. And this week's burst limit is powered by Junk Food Arcades, of course known for the Snack Box Micro. Have a huge collection of controllers available for purchase and customization. The new Swirl is a new controller being developed featuring all the features you could want of a snack box and the accessibility of a pad for people outside of fighting game use. And of course, more online events coming. Burst Limit Season 3 running strong here. Online qualifiers running all the way until October 17th. Mondays, you got Blaze Blue Central Fiction. Of course, Tuesday today, we're doing Plus R. Both sets of games will allow the qualified players to enter into the finale slated for November 4th. So we're almost there, not too far now. So yeah, if you haven't gotten in a burst limit bracket, sign up.
Yeah. And see, much like Dragon Ball Burst Limit, the roster is huge.
Right?
See? It writes itself. I'm not getting any checks in the mail for that one, don't worry.
that we know of.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Toei, for that blood money you got there.
So yeah, and of course, there's still some Match Arena codes out there. If you're chilling in the chat, go claim some of those. Get the prize pool up for these players putting on a good show for us. So yeah, we are now down to our top 4.
Yeehaw. I'm looking at the bracket too, and I'm eyeballing Amelia Mirror, so that should be cool.
Yeah. One of those, like, we talked about how, you know, some mirror matches, you have a character that's not particularly good against their own kit. Amelia kind of the opposite, because she can outmaneuver herself.
Yeah, it's the... Okay, this matchup is entertaining. This is, like, Soul Bad Guy, who is, like, normally kind of, like, partying. His grandfather gets home from a long day at the office and says, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
There it is. That's an OS. That's going to beat Far Slash and hit confirm in the drill. If they whiff anything else, it's not going to matter. That's just 5p drill.
That's really awesome. That is a really strong round open OS.
Yep.
This character definitely needs that.
Yep. Yep.
It does. Yep.
So, you know how, like, Soul has, like, this suite of moves that, like, low profile, and then he has, like, the high profile stuff? Well, he still has the high profile. Everything Cliff has beats Ground Viper. You want a list? Far Slash, 2H, 2D, 236P, Drill, yes, grounded drill, Reflex Roar, which I learned and was shocked. Oh, but!
I do like as you started that list, Grand Viper got spot on there.
Yeah, it can go under that. Oh, yeah, big JS.
Yep. I was scary there for a second. She's almost turned that whole thing around after a bombastic start from Gdom. Going to the corner.
I said I gave you a list. Oh, God. Yeah, so
don't get hit. Don't get... All right. Picture's no longer flashing. You might be okay. Never mind. You're no longer okay.
TV? Oh.
I was going to say, I'm surprised. All right, yep. It's just... Might as well. You're on the verge of getting stoned. Why not let something rip?
Yep.
What's the worst that happens? You get stoned? Man, she's throwing out Fafnir in neutral is messing with me. I'm just not... I just see Fafnir in plus R, and I'm just like, this move is so terrible.
Listen, I want to press Fafnir in neutral. That's cool. I do that in next card when I play Smash.
I mean, as you should.
Yup. Also, Cliff 6P is one of the only like standard 6Ps in the game. There it is.
Yep.
It's Ground Viper 5K. Oh, you linked. It's okay.
Throw attempt that just hooked up with Stand Heavy, I'm going to assume there? Yep.
One of those things, too. Cliff 6P Not the most cracked 6P in the game at face value, but when it comes to anti-airing things above him, the short list of things that it beats that other characters wish they could 6P is pretty big.
Right.
Moroha Abba JH, check. Bikin JH, check. Soul JH, check.
Yeah, once you're in that vertical space just above cliff, like there's very little that button is not just going to stuff because the hitbox on it is yeah, it's just hellacious.
Because it has like on startup upper body invuln comparable to like the startup of Johnny 6P, and then as it gets further in, it gets even better, and then eventually hits the actives, and it's like you can hit as like me.
Baits the chop, no punish though.
Oh!
Whoa! What? I see. Cliff too floaty though to get the knockdown. Okay. Saddle RC. That was the longest cross up in the history of mankind.
Yeah, that
we evolved to a new species before that cross up hit.
Yeah, you can do it. Nice gunflames. Yeah, so gunflame is like the key soul tool in this one.
Right.
Cliff can FD jump over it and punish it pretty bad, but generally speaking, it stops a lot of like generic Cliff stuff.
Right. One of those tools you have to show you that you're gonna force the Cliff to work around, otherwise you're just giving it too much free space to.
But yeah, it's already like you're. Nice.
Good interrupt. Yep. Good interrupt. What? Huh. You know, I would have got hit too. I'm not even. Yeah. In what world?
Yeah. For as much as Cliff can like be goofy in this matchup, a lot of what gets stop sign is pressure that he would take for granted. So like IID stuff is kind of okay, but it's only to an extent because Soul has 5k, he's got DP. His defensive suite is really good at stopping that, but Cliff is pretty content to play at the mid range and just kind of force Soul to come in because his reward is still better and like. And you can just play safe. This is one of those matchups where like the old way of playing Cliff. Ooh, yep.
That's a sting, alright. Mix starts.
Nice
block. On
block.
the dust. Yep, good stuff. Okay. Yep. Really smart. Clearly Gdom has seen this style of Soul because you don't have a lot of reason to just let Drill rip there unless you know Grand Viper is coming. Oh no! Oh no!
I think that 2F might have been a misinput.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
What would he have been going for there, you think?
I don't know. Maybe like close slash or something like that.
When the Cliff player doesn't know, then you know something has gone awry.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, he dialed that drill a little too slow. Yep, can't jump block that.
Yep. Yeah, one of those annoyances about fighting Soul sometimes, right? Is it looks like you should have weight. Oh no! God, could he have gotten another charge 6P there on the burst recovery?
It might have stunned.
I mean, that would take a lot of awareness, but still, because of you, I'm just immediately trained to go, wow, that probably could have killed me.
Yeah, you know, they might have died. Different world. Nice TK drill.
Yep. Alright, puts it on him. Okay. Ripped. Yep, that should be the round. See? Yep. Oh no! Gdom playing with the food a little bit there.
Oh.
That was extremely unnecessary. Gets away with it, but that was scary, dude.
That was autopilot. Yeah, it's funny quite a bit.
Oh, ooh, okay. Wow, goes up and gets
nice.
Yeah. Ooh,
big gambit.
Yeah, went for it. Didn't pay off. And punish. Yep.
One thing as Cliff, if you're gonna be doing that on Wake Up, you got 50 meter, make it party time and RC the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's plus 13. You might as well.
Right. Alright, pick up. Mix up the mix.
the old style taunt setup, so it's not quite as plus, but still pretty good.
Right.
Not the 6-speed taunt, but...
Even, yeah, just not letting Soul move. And right now, oh, not quite.
Yeah.
Yep, check with the jab. Why does this character's jab go 40 feet in front of him?
The Cliff 5P is one of those buttons that, like, it's really easy to underestimate how important it is for the character, but foundationally speaking, it's like the cornerstone of why his pressure works at all. Like, that thing goes so far, the Gatling table is insanely good, literally everything. That isn't... No, I actually think it is everything, because you can even Gatling that into 6-8. Like, it's just amazing.
Gdom was setting up to commit a war crime. Like, he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm charging 6B and I'm not letting go. I dare you to come into this house.
No burst, because he knows that's prorated pretty bad.
Yep. It's always tempting when you get hit by a dust. You're just like, oh no, but it's like, unless it's Cliff, dusts don't hurt that bad. Not the best punish on that.
Yeah, there's one other character where dust will hurt you, and that's like Testament.
Yes.
Because their dust, for whatever reason, has less GB minus.
And it's Testament, which means you're going to get knocked down, so that alone is,
Yeah, right, like the value.
All right, wow. Speaking of dust, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Drill should be able to finish this off.
One of the big things that I'm seeing is you gotta instant block those 2-3-6Ps. If you don't, especially at that distance, if you're not gonna fuzzy jump out of 2D 2-3-6P at that rate, you better be IBing because.
Wow, punish. And yep, ripped.
Also, in this position, it's really good for Cliff to hold onto his meter if possible. Because he does get one really good confirm. You might think it's like 2D super, but I think FS super. FS into reflex roar.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if you hit them jumping out, you can FS into reflex, and it will still hit them in the air because it's just so fast, and you'll get the wall stick, and you'll keep the situation.
Man, once Gdom got control there, just never relinquish. Cliff pressure in the like. Even if you're not doing the new really over the top stuff that like you and Hano have labbed out at this point, it's just like just blocking 2-3-6B in the corner is miserable for so many characters.
Yep, and the worst part is that you treat it like another projectile in the game, and you're like, okay, I'm blocking it, my guard bar isn't going anywhere, but it is.
Yeah.
This projectiles build GB for some reason. 2-3-6P is only 3, but it's still building guard bar. 2-3-6S if he FRCs it. Well, I mean, hell, if you block it, it's GB plus 10. It's like a little 5 button. And the funniest one he has is Reflex Roar is GB plus 20 on block. So if you spend 75 meter, you can do like a GB neutral dust. But like, I don't know. The projectiles building guard bars, it makes it really threatening because then you are compelled to move. You have to. Because it's not just the high-level buttons hitting you. It's the fireball. Right.
Yeah. It's not a fun situation to be in. Like,
no.
I play a character with a bunch of frame 1 reversals, and I'm still just like, cool, I'm in the corner. This sucks.
Yeah, it's... But, let's talk about funny things.
Alright, sure. Let's just let these two run rampant.
This is what it means to be alive.
What if I fed coke? What if I fed coke to 2 hummingbirds and then just released them into the wild?
Oh yeah. This is like you know those videos of like what was I thinking of? You ever watch like popcorn getting popped like really fast?
Sure.
It's like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hair's the same color and everything. Oh, what a pickup!
I do appreciate that these two players use drastically different colors, so I don't have to try and hash out 2 like almost totally white Vespmilias chasing each other in the air.
You know, it's good too because like there are characters in this game. You play one of them that have 2 colors that look functionally almost the exact same.
Yes.
And they're not though. They're slightly different, but it's like on the fan. You're never gonna be looking there.
Right. Yeah.
So you got like
greatly appreciate. From a commentator's perspective, that is the commentator's nightmare. It's a mirror match, and both players play like two of the colors that are as closest on the spectrum as they can be to one another. And you're like, oh god, please help.
Oh god. You know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna get hit by it because I'm gonna take less damage. He's actually right.
Yeah.
You know, that is, in some ways, the Cliff mentality. If you get, like, counter hit early on in a round, you just, like, just stun me, so I have more dodges later.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
but Blitz.
Yeah. Just all the conversions there. That was very clean.
Yep. They were tangling pretty well in neutral, but I think, like, the big difference is just the power behind Blitz's conversions and knockdowns are just so different. Burrito I haven't seen play in a while, so I guess they're just getting back into it.
Sure. Yeah, it's what makes Amelia difficult to play in this game, right? Like, you talked about earlier, like, her game plan is not complicated. Her game plan is to bully you in neutral, get a knockdown, and then run some of the best opens in the game. But she, like Eno, but in different ways, requires a lot of execution and a lot of knowledge. Because if you don't know how to convert a bunch of random stray things into max corner carry or to a really good knockdown to set up your Oki, then it's going to feel like a struggle because you're going to feel like you have to open up your opponent 5 times, and a lot of those times you might not even get that knockdown you want to start the party.
Yeah.
But when you know how to make those conversions work, then she becomes just an absolutely terrifying character to fight. Because that's the thing, like, the one thing I think people don't quite understand about Amelia is, like, everybody talks about the Oki, and rightfully so. Like, she has some of the best mechs in the game. She absolutely can bully you in neutral through a combination of her mobility, the hairpin, and her absurdly good buttons, especially.
Yeah.
Alright. Pick up Burrito on the verge. Could be able to close it up. Nice. Wow. That's one of those where I'm like, all right, well, Blitz is about to be on set point, and then I look, I'm like, no, that's running back real quick. This is one of those matchups where it's like, every conversion hurts somewhat, because Amelia doesn't have defense, and she doesn't have a lot of guts.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
One of the big things, too, right, is that for Amelia against herself, her pressure resets are really nice.
Yes.
Normally, a lot of characters, Amelia has good pressure resets with pin. If that's not on the table, she uses it for neutral. Her Okazemi is really good, but the pressure itself is not quite so airtight once you block the initial mix-up.
Yeah, 100%.
But, oh man. Oop. Get me out of here. Oh no, the 2002!
Wow, it just lets it rip. It's gonna be enough, too.
Legacy players understand. 5D.
It's the last thing you look for from Amelia, who has multiple of the fastest overheads of the game.
Right? You're just like, well, why would they ever?
Yeah, why would I look for 5D? No one would do that. Until they do, and then you're like, oh, well.
Like,
it's there's so many things that you can get got by for just the slightest miscalculation or the slightest moment of losing track of your opponent's options. So good stuff from Blitz there, making a run all the way back through the losers bracket here.
Oh, NuclearCheese. Oh, this is Soul Amelia. This is a funny matchup.
Yeah, another one of those like pretty common XX classic matchups where it's like both characters can enact their game plan, and both characters can greatly disrupt each other's game plan as well.
Yeah, Soul Bad Guys JH.
Yep.
That button in this matchup can be quite the nightmare, quite the hell world thing.
Mm-hmm.
Great anti-airs. Really though, what helps is that Soul's simple short pressure, even if Amelia, like unless Amelia's FDing him out all the time, her guard bar is going up really fast.
Yes.
Even for like the shortest Soul string. And this character has combo damage that scales really well against Amelia because of that.
Yeah. And it's one of those where it's like, even if Amelia gets control and gets the knockdown, she does have to take concessions in this matchup. You can't just, run your typical 50-50. You have to be baiting almost all the time.
Yeah.
What?
So, hey.
I mean, I know why it happened. That doesn't mean I have to approve of it happening.
What? Oh
Wow. All right then. She's gonna take round 1.
no! That was so much for my little.
There was a lot. There was a lot in the round that really wasn't that long. Nice.
It's like what it feels like to have a concussion. I'm just like, not the win, right? Oh! Really, a 5H has to be one of those, like, the funniest, like, weirdly good mash, throw, scramble option buttons in the game.
Yeah.
Which is, it's annoying because you look at the hitbox on Dustin and you're like, well, that thing sucks on the first hit, and then it always hits you. Like,
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Because the situation where it actually comes out, where a trade is going to potentially happen, is exactly that, a missed throw.
Yep.
And in that situation, it's like, oh, this is really obnoxious, and it's one of her best starters.
Wow. I don't know if you had to do that DP backwards or not, but it was pretty interesting.
Right.
Oh my god.
It's just going to keep hitting, isn't it?
I don't know, man.
We're just going to...
I look at my clock. It's 2002.
Yeah. Truly, we are time wizards. Nice use of this.
I am as old as Cliff.
Right. Oh, so dead. Got it.
Yeah. Imagine I just stopped talking the rest of this match.
I mean, honestly, good.
Oh,
wait
no.
for it again. Oh, no conversion now. Oh, it says I can do it too.
Huey Lewis, back in time.
Uh-oh.
Play on Spotify right now. Oh my god. No.
I'm surprised.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Listen,
you got
Cliff.
there. Cheese got there. It was the most scenic route way of getting there.
Listen,
but he
Cliff,
did get there.
I just gotta tell you, would it really be XX without a lot of pasta? Like,
No.
You're
no.
gotta have the spaghetti in this game.
Yeah, there's a...
It's just not the same without
Even
it.
the greatest players of all time have that happen. It's just the nature of legacy games. It be like that sometimes. It really do.
The lasagna your parents used to make. Oh goodness. I feel like that situation has happened often. IADJS right over a disc. Very
Too high.
cool.
Man, too high for the punish though. Gets in the throw.
I wasn't sure if that was gonna hit that burst.
Yeah, that's a scary burst, but that is a burst save point if they are in range. But it doesn't make it any less scary to do. Yep, second overhead. Oh, that guard bar was great.
Hey,
What?
What the hell?
Millie's not supposed to do that kind of damage. Wow, the most blatant riot stomp. All right.
Okay, there's no way, right? I think yeah, there's gotta be a burst. No, he didn't.
No.
No.
Yeah, you got to put Secret Garden into the dirt if you want to stop that.
You
Like,
gotta make it like an actual tree. Like
Yeah.
it's not even.
nice and
Nice.
that was a really good call out. Really good call out.
Oh. All right.
Well then, that was
Found our new secret, Lifers Potemkin.
that has clearly been an interaction that's happened before. That was a blatant hard call out.
All right.
Blitz is full control here.
Nice FRC.
Jeez,
Oh, goodness.
no.
You know,
Oh,
even like
no.
the
But why though?
even the
But why,
simplest
though?
gust conversions, or well, not simple, but I should say, like it's not like the guard bar was that high,
No.
and it was a 5D starter. GB minus 20.
Yep.
I'm
Checkmate
trying to
first.
understand why the locusts come out every 20 years. I don't get it. But it just did so much damage. But I'm not an entomologist, so can't speak on that.
Right. Blitz keeping the composure though. Does even it up one game apiece there. So good
Yeah.
work. All right. So 1-1 is first to 3. We are at that point in the bracket.
Yeah, it's I'm interested. I want to see what NuclearCheese does going forward. I think a lot of his game plan is kind of working. I just think like sometimes he finds a hit and doesn't quite make the absolute most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes a really long way against players like Blitz and characters like Milia. You really got to squeeze every drop of blood from the stone.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, Soul gets one good counter hit, and then puts Amelia in a situation where if she makes another mistake, that's probably the round. Like, that's what you're looking for, but only if you're getting those max conversions.
What a close slash convert? Oh, that was a really good 2K.
Yeah. There's the burst. Nice shade, yeah, jump kick. Such a good button to go chase with. It's under it again. My God.
Whoa, whoa!
What? I'm sorry.
Whoa,
what?
whoa, whoa!
I want to say incorrect, but I also know it's plus R. So no, that's just the day that it's Y. Yup.
Oh no!
Oh, it doesn't finish the chop though. Oh no.
That was definitely supposed to be Fafnir.
Yep. Oh no. Not like this. Not like this. Okay.
That was the burst.
Oh, the 2K. Chip him out. No, not quite. Oh my God.
I'm balling! You can't stop me! I will not die!
Incredible. What a finish.
Rao only dies standing up.
Amazing.
Oh.
But you know Blitz is not happy about that.
No, yeah. Dude just did a melty blood 2A confirm. There's something going on. Oh! Oh man!
Oh, that was gonna be the sickest pickup. I'm like, wait, you can convert that after the trade?
That's the replay takeover later. But what's? I feel like we've seen them like do the Rock'em Sock'em robots back and forth there in the corner for like the entire like back half of that round.
One of the things I pride myself on as a commentator is being able to explain like player decision making in a nice short amount of time, so you understand why interactions are happening and what's going on. And in this, literally, all I can tell you, they're swinging, folks.
Yeah, this game. There we go. There we go. No.
That's fine.
Okay, it's
Reset.
fine.
It's fine. It was the delayed punish, the mystical delayed punish.
Frosty Falcons is in Chicago. We gotta keep it in the spirit.
It's true.
And with your big move, I'm just gonna throw you later. It's fine.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 liked it so much they made it a mechanic.
Not wrong. All right, so Blitz on set point now, up 2-1.
Oh. You see, I thought the Slayer matches were turning him old.
Right.
Although maybe this isn't turning him old. This is just turning him into Popeye Bluto. What the hell? Hey, that is the one of two things Soul has that is a stun rod on it.
Yeah.
You might as well let it rip.
Whatever you think you know about round start interaction in this matchup, you might as well throw out, because they've definitely done nothing like what you would expect. Yeah. Soul JP, never been bad. Never will be bad.
I think the worst it is like what?
I'm amazed at how many ways Cheese is escaping Oki.
This dude is surfing on the disc.
And then
surfing on it.
And then it's just like, well, we'll do it again. All right, no Grain Viper this time.
You blocked the rising JK. That's actually crazy.
The bait. Yeah, don't do it. Okay. Yeah, good.
I'm like, come on. I'm like the angel on his shoulder right now.
Right. Like, don't hit the button. Don't. Nice. Too high for the knockdown, though. All right. We are just air chasing. Wow.
Okay.
The floor is literally lava. It is a direct train line to hell, apparently, because we didn't touch the floor for like 6 seconds straight there. Ooh! Dog!
Only X-Bird?
Yep.
Oh no! What? Oh!
I'm. Huh.
Oh! Get me out. Get me out, please.
Well, that is a punish. Sure.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Look, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'm letting this speak for itself. Oh god. Oh god. The burst. All the meter in the world. All right. For real? Nope, not a clean hit. Oh my god.
That actually made me make a sound. I'm sorry.
You actually did the Homer Simpson scream. That was impressive.
I thought for sure that was hitting.
Oh,
Holy cow.
Well, that was a set.
Oh.
I
think I just sweat that coffee I drank out.
I don't know, man.
I could watch this game for hours. Oh my god.
My brain hamster just quit running on the wheel halfway through that set, and you're like, nah, you're on your own, buddy. Good stuff to Blitz though, like through all the shenanigans going on. Able to stay composed and get back to grand finals here. At this point, I'm sure Blitz is like, all right, cool, I'm in grand finals, but at what cost?
Like, my brain is just like, it's so gone, just like you. And in my head, I'm just thinking, plus our don't laugh challenge.
Impossible.
That's just like where I'm at right now. We need like the...
Completely impossible.
You gotta get like one of those new age clickbait thumbnails.
Right.
You can just put like Homer Simpson on there and just clip that entire set.
Yeah, just good lord. Good lord.
It's really one of those things, and it's what made me really fall in love with this game, or this franchise rather. Back when I went to EVO, oh god, this is dating me here. EVO 2015, when I saw Nage play Xrd on the big stage, because I was just up early that morning and I wanted to watch stuff. And I was just like fascinated with how like, through all the like stuff like that, you can still see like the gears turning. And I think like that's just so unique to the XX and even Xrd as a franchise that like it's never really been recaptured. And it's just that era of old fighting games where it was just like that.
Yeah, it is a truly unique thing where it's like the most absolutely nonsensical, crazy stuff can be going on, and you still have to find a way to like keep your composure because you never know when you'll have the slightest opportunity to just switch things on its head and completely turn the match around. Like the game state evolves and changes so much.
Yeah, Blitz making short work here. Not gonna. I think he was going for an OTG 2K to get the quicker wake up. Because you want to, if you stun somebody, you want to hit them OTG so they get up a little faster. You want to give them less time to...
Yeah, exactly. Yep, less time to stagger mash. Because you can stagger mash while you are recovering from a knockdown. Outland this. Okay, yep.
Yeah, so much of this matchup, too, for it to be tenable for Cliff, really does rely on your conversions. Like, that is...
Right.
The heart of this character's threat level is almost always... Can you make that hit hurt?
Right.
Because otherwise, it can look real bad like this.
Yeah, I mean, even characters that are high mobility, strong characters don't particularly enjoy trying to chase down Milia. It's not fun, right?
Right.
And so it's like, Cliff is not the kind of character that's like, oh, she's IADing back up at top of the screen. I can go. No, like that's not Cliff's jam.
Uniquely, he does have the one move in the game that I think reliably checks IAD backdash or IAD back, which is Nape 7. It will hit that.
Sure.
But like that's a big call out against Milia.
Right.
Neutral. Like you've got to be really educated when you do that move.
Right. So yeah, like this is kind of the opposite of the last few matches in that the damage thing is still there. Like, Milia does not want to get counter hit in this matchup at all. That's going to go very poorly. But the difference is that it's going to be a lot harder for Cliff to actually get that first conversion and get a situation where he can start doing the big damage. Whereas, you know, Soul, Slayer, and such are just like, yeah, no, I interact with Milia's, you know, options quite well constantly. Cliff has to either catch her being overly aggressive or just make a really good educated guess on a ground poke or an air poke, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah, he will shred her faster than those two characters.
Right.
Like, at a lower amount of meter. But the amount of opportunities and the chances he'll have are very different.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that, like, the risk-reward in this matchup heavily favors Cliff, but there are a lot of factors that make it harder.
Right.
Than it could be if it was, you know...
Ooh, okay. Let's catch that out.
Instant overhead gets blocked. Yep, take the 2D. Catches the backdash. You're not backdashing 260. That's just not happening.
No. Nope. And that's the other thing is like Amelia doesn't need a ton of meter to operate in this matchup either. So she's not as worried about negative penalty as you would be. Oh, speak of the devil, that was clearly supposed to be force break disc, but not enough to do it. And
all right, we're setting up a.
Oh, nice call out of the anti-air.
That's big.
Oh, the back goes out.
Yeah, this is bad. Now, the nice thing about the back going out, compared to actually getting the dodge, is that your stun doesn't actually go down if your back breaks.
Right.
But, you know, that's about all you have. You know, I'm not mashing at all. Not even bursting, Garfield.
Yeah. I was really surprised Blitz didn't just throw, honestly. Pretty sure throw would have killed.
Maybe.
At the very least, you know, the next hit's guaranteed, because you can't burst the throw, so...
One really critical anti-air for Cliff in this matchup, more than any other, is his close slash. It can be flaky in some.
Sure.
But, like, CS here will hit Millie at a lot of her common approach vectors, and, you know, don't want that to happen. But
right.
Let's see if Gdom can pick it up, because that's really crucial.
Right. But, that, of course, that requires getting in close S range and having the breathing room to hit the button.
Yep. Nice.
Blitz content to just back out. Not over to the okay.
That's big. Yep. He's got to burst that.
Yeah, had to. That was not a situation you want to deal with. Nice 2K there. Counterplay, though.
Yep. Using his big floaty super jump and the meter to get over the secret garden. Yeah,
that
smart.
Was really smart. Really smart. I've seen Blitz use 5D tonight more than I've seen Amelia's use 5D in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And that was like, what, maybe the second one that actually got blocked? Nice pickup. Gdom got to take the first spot here, which doesn't feel good.
Nice block.
Wow, good defense. Really good defense.
Gdom, I think, has really good neutral and defense across all the Cliff players. But his conversions are a little old school. So nice throw tech.
Yeah, I mean, being able to block and hold your own on defense is great, but
dash
you have to.
Right. Oh, we could have gotten the corner off that. That throw could have been 2S into, yeah.
Right.
That's one of those things, right? It's all about the conversions. If you're not getting the maximum corner carry and the maximum like damage against Amelia as Cliff, it can feel real rough. I remember when I was learning the game, this was one that felt rough to play.
Amelia is one of those characters that can actually do her approach to Cliff and do it fairly low risk, all things considered. Like, there's no such thing as no risk against Cliff. That just doesn't exist against this character. But in terms of overall risk for what she's trying to do relative to her standard game plan, she can execute that pretty well in this matchup.
Yeah.
It's just, once you get there, you better not make a mistake. And take that trade. Wow, that was actually really clever. Nice block on the nape saddle. Gdom being a little bit more proactive this time, really trying to go chase down. Which makes sense. He's really, you know, like, sitting back does not work. We already have this set reset, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, being passive is clearly not getting the job done. So you might as well try and ramp up the aggression, see if you can start getting a straight hit there, here and there.
You want to move in carefully.
Yeah.
But you really don't want to jump really recklessly as Cliff here. The ground is where Amelia has a harder time contesting you. Oh, no CS!
Yep.
Oh, dear.
Blitz just content. Yep. Take
Nice
my space.
FTC, that was good.
Yeah, really good. Unfortunately, JD does not reach. Now Blitz. Looking like he's about to go up 1-0 in the reset here.
Wow.
Okay, throw. What do we do with this?
8 takes the block.
All right, base the gold burst. Oh, hairpin though. Wow, just put all the discs out. Yeah, really smart. At worst, Cliff was going to block and then have to hold another round of offensive pressure at best. Yeah. That happens. So, Yeah, but that's 4 in a row for Blitz, and they've been pretty fast.
Yeah, like.
Heaven or hell.
See if Gdom can make an adjustment here. Gotta really change up the formula if he wants to get back in the set. All right, there you go. He didn't get the conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that hard. When you get the JS, you dial in the JH a little too late.
Yeah, and like I get why he wants to put the kanji out. It makes sense, but against a character with as much mobility as Amelia, you better make sure you have the room to operate to do that. Otherwise,
Nice jump out, but
yep. Being this is probably going to be enough. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Blitz just kind of playing loose and free now. He was so grizzled from all those stressful nightmare interaction matchups that now he doesn't have to feel nearly as afraid of what's going on, because so far Gdom hasn't shown he can cash out any of those big conversions.
yeah, he's getting so many good hits, but like that situation could have been the corner, that situation could have been, and it's just,
right.
So Blitz is just really relaxed. It's like,
yeah.
He's gonna hit me, but he's not gonna kill me up at counter hit.
Yeah.
And that just changes the threat level of this character. Like, fundamentally, this character, without that, is very middling.
Yeah, he's just another character with some really big buttons. But it's like big buttons on their own can be played around in Guilty Gear, especially a character with as much mobility as Amelia has access to. All right, dodge. Yep, just do it again. On a throw. Burst. There it is. Good patience. Didn't get it baited, but got to do something with it now. Oh, God, right on the Secret Garden. Hairpin, that's going to do it. Yeah, Blitz just even though, like, you're like, okay, Blitz is one hit away from losing this round, it just, you never feel like he's lost control.
No. That's the conversions. It's so much of this character. When I think about the trajectory of Cliff, so much of what made this character, or at least so much of what makes this character feel better when I play him and all that, was just getting better at those and understanding like how much those can change.
Right.
The interaction table. Oh.
Okay, here we go. Got to throw.
This is the position. Yeah,
this isn't like going to be really close to a stun. There you go. Yep.
Nice extension. Yes. One more hit. Okay. That's cool.
Probably.
Let's go set up a fuzzy, but he missed the fuzzy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Finally. Gets the closest.
Something nice about CS. If you're late on the roll throw rest or you're early, it'll touch the ground like that and it'll hit Lily out of roll.
Yeah. All right. You talked about it. Close slash doing some work now.
Nice 2H. Breaks the guard. Doesn't get big reward, but residual damage is good. Oh, there it is.
Throw gets through. Let's see if Gdom can get this momentum back quickly. All right. No knockdown. Does it again. Wow. Boy, nice punish on the whiff, though. That was really good. Okay, good challenge with the jab. I like that. Blitz being a little bit more measured, a little bit more cautious now. He's seen the Gdom is not completely out of the fight here, but
that FS could have been so much more.
You're right. The throw on the dodge.
I see it. I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, counter hit FS. That's gonna be 2H in the super."
Yep.
But just got the 2S instead.
So Blitz on tournament point now. Ooh. Okay, this could be spicy. Oh, side switching dust. Okay, sure. Whatever works.
Counter hit JH, untechable time, 58 frames.
Right.
Not lying.
Yeah, nope. You can do whatever you want.
Put up the number.
Oh,
yeah, no, it
gold
knocks
burst.
down at any height.
Gdom on the verge of getting on the board here, but let's find a way to close this out. Oh, forward punch doesn't reach.
Oh, that's definitely necessary.
Get the burst baited. Oh, the drop. Well, it was baited, but not punished.
Oh!
Gdom one hit away from getting on the board.
No!
Oh, no!
You can't do that into that.
Yeah, wow. And Blitz, smart. Just enough to close it out. And Blitz takes it 6-0. Gdom finally got the momentum back. Finally was starting to get into it, but just too little too late, unfortunately. So, good stuff from everybody, though. Congrats to Blitz on the bracket. Excellent run from Gdom. So yeah, Blitz will be moving forward into the finale of this season's Burst Limit.
Click the codes.
Yeah. If you're hearing him, click the Match Arena code. Go get that. Get some money in that pot for these players for putting on a good show.
What was that Milia Soul match? Art. It was art. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you're not gonna believe what we got coming up. On September 16th, we're coming back with the offline monthly featuring the usual games: Guilty Gear Strive, BlazBlue Central Fiction, Grand Blue Versus, and Tato gave me the update in DMs. He's bringing Alien Challenge and his favorite fighting game of all time, Air Guys God Bless the Ring. So you better go there. It's gonna be amazing. Signups are handled on-site and the doors open at 2 p.m. But the earliest bracket does start at 4 p.m., so you got a little bit of time to get in and wiggle around and socialize. If you want to sign up, you can type !monthly in the chat. They are sponsored by Junk Food Arcade. They're known for snack box micros. Those things are incredible. My guy Joe Fish has one. Fits in his pockets like a little tablet. I thought it was his phone. It was his controller. Couldn't believe it. And they got a new one coming out, the Swirl. It's being developed with all the features you could want on a snack box, but it's also got features from a pad, which is great because that means you can use it outside of fighting games. You can use that to speedrun Mega Man X4 at your locals. And we got online events. Burst Limit Season 3. They're running an online qualifier right now. And it's every Monday. They're doing BlazBlue Central Fiction at 8 p.m. and every Tuesday, which is this bat time, this bat channel, Guilty Gear XX, Asking Plus R. And both sets of games allow for qualified players to enter in the finale, which is slated for November 4th. A great month because it's 1 month before Christmas. It's our ads.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it's good. Are they streaming? Minutums? We should tell them. I don't know, actually. Usually I have a good message. Tell them that Guilty Gear is powered by spaghetti. They'll understand.
Go with the classic. Play Guilty Gear. It's easy. Easy.
Hell yeah.
It always works. It's never a bad time. Easy peasy. So yeah. No, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Good show. Always fun to commentate. Some good plus R. So thanks for having me along for the ride, T5.
Yeah, no, I'm honored. Thank you. I had a great time. I did not forget this was happening. I was on time, very punctual.
Absolutely. So yeah.
Yeah.
Be back at it again next week. So tune in for another round of Burst Limit Season 3.